Hey, what's going on everybody? Matt here from Perfect PC. Just a quick video. I'll take you through 5 builds that I put together from the extreme budget end right through to God Teir. So without further ado, let's just crack on. Okay, first one, ultra budget. This build here is fantastic. It comes in sub 2k and sub 1500 if this is all in ZD in New Zealand dollars. And I'll just caveat this by saying a few of these builds are going to look relatively similar because some of the parts are just fantastic to work with, so there's no point in changing them even if you go through the tiers. The change of performance is negligible for the price. So anyway, we'll kick off the ultra budget. 12100F CPU, awesome CPU, brilliant little bit of kit. And when we pair that with pretty much any B660 motherboard, it'll work just fine with the B660. 500 gig M.2. The RAM, this is relatively important. We want to make sure that we have a 16 gig kit of 3600 CL17 or better. You can go for CL18, but we want to get that CL down as much as possible. So this Kingston Fury stuff is really good. I've used it in a bunch of builds. It is just value for money. I mean, B-die is what you get in all cases if you can, but it's quite expensive. Sometimes can be hard to get, especially in New Zealand. So I find the Kingston Fury is the best. We're going to go with the GeForce GTX 1660 Super. Don't get the 1660, you want the 1660 Super, or the TI model, or anything greater than that. But this is an awesome little budget card that you can still find brand new off the shelf. This case here, the Fantex Eclipse P360A, flat out the best budget case you can find. It's just so easy to build in. It's good quality. It's got 2 decent powered fans. Everything about it is just so nice to work with. I'm a huge fan of these cases, and yeah, they just do so well. This build is super efficient, so a 450 watt PSU will be plenty. If you can go for a higher capacity PSU, that'll future-proof you a little bit if you wanted to upgrade. However, this is an ultra budget, so that's what we'll stick with. And we have the one little deep cool case fan. These are awesome little fans here. They're super cheap, and that'll be a perfect little exhaust. And combine that with this case, and we've got ourselves an awesome little ultra budget build that I've done plenty of. Alright, stepping up the next tier. Similar to the ultra budget, we're going to swap out the 12100 for a 12400F. This is just no comparison. They're by far the best budget CPU that you can get on the market. The motherboard, I like the MSI. This is the Wi-Fi version, DDR4. It's a B660. Again, as long as you get a B660 and it's DDR4, you're good to go. It doesn't matter too much. We're going to step up the Kingston SSD to a 1TB, and the RAM, same as previously, 16 gig, DDR4, 3600 CR17. Now the graphics card, we're going to take the 3060 here. This is a great mid-range, just a budget to mid-range card. It'll do 1080p fantastically. Combine that with the CPU and the RAM kit, and you've got a really nice little combo. The case, same again. That Fantex, you can't beat it, and this time we've gone for a 650 watt PSU, so it gives you a little bit of overhead if you want to step up to a beefier graphics card in the future. And another case fan, although you're going to be putting out a little bit more heat with the CPU and the graphics card, so I would opt for 3 of these. So we've got 2 intakes on the top, as well as the 2 intakes from the case and 1 exhaust fan, and that will be your optimal airflow config. Moving up, mid-range. So stepping up from the 12400, we're going to go to the 12600K, and we're going to pair this time with a Z690. This was just the cheapest one of the lot. It doesn't really matter. All the Z690 motherboards are going to be roughly the same. They'll all do a really nice CPU overclock. We're not doing memory tuning because we're sticking with this with the same memory kit. And for this time, we've gone with a 1TB SSD, and we've included a 2TB storage drive. Graphics card, we're stepping up from the 3060 to 3070. This will do 1440p, no problem. Sticking with the same case, we've gone for a larger PSU. That's going to give you a bit more headroom. And now, because we're going to plan on overclocking this beast, being the 12600K, the K variant, We're going to combo that with a Be Quiet Pure Rock 2. This is an air cooler. It's good for 150 watts TDP. It'll be an awesome pairing with this 12600. And we chuck 3 of these case fans in on the Fantex, and that will provide you awesome optimal airflow. It'll get rid of all the heat, and this will be a brilliant little mid-range system here. Now we're stepping up higher end. So we're getting to the upper end of really what someone should be expecting for a high-end gaming rig. Alright, 12700K. This is getting into big boy territory now. A Z690, I've just gone with this Gigabyte board. I've built with it before. It's a great board, does everything you would expect. It's got Wi-Fi, it's got Bluetooth. 2TB SSD. Again, you don't need anything faster than these budget SSDs on a gaming rig. If you're doing media creation and that sort of stuff, or you're doing a lot of data transfer, you might want to go for a Samsung 980 Pro. However, for these particular gaming builds, this is plenty. Again, 2TB hard drive, that should be plenty of space for most people. This time we are moving up the RAM kit slightly, so we're going to go with a 32 gig kit of 3600 CL16. This is the RGB version. You can find better kits out there. In New Zealand, we're relatively limited with what stock we can get. And we're moving up to the 3080. Now, don't worry about brands, guys. It doesn't matter. They all do the same job. They will give you all the same performance within a couple of percent of each other. So just get the cheapest model that you can. Generally speaking, you can overclock them, and they'll do just fine straight out the box there. Fantex case, brilliant little case. Mentioned it before. We're stepping up to the 850 watt power supply. It's going to give you plenty of overhead. Now for this one, we're going to go with the Deepcool LE500 water cooler. This is good for 220 watts worth of cooling, so it'll be plenty to cool our 12700K here. And we're going to also chuck in one of these case fans as an exhaust. Lastly, the God Teir build, the big boy. This is the God Teir upper end of where I'd be suggesting here. So we're going to go for the 12900K. You can take the 12900KS, but there has been videos done on it. There is negligible difference. Negligible. It is only the bin. So quite often you can get the same performance of a 12900K to match a 12900KS with the correct tune. In this case, we're going to go the MSI MPG Z Carbon Z690. This is the DDR5 variant. We're going with the Samsung 980 Pro 2TB. We've got 4TB of hard drive storage. We have got a DDR5 kit. This is the 6000 MHz CR36. We've gone for the 3090 Ti. Realistically, you could take a 3080 Ti, a 3090 or a 3090 Ti. Honestly, they are relatively very close to each other in terms of performance. 3080 Ti is going to be your best bang for buck if you want to play in this arena. However, this is God Teir. We're not skimping on any expense, so we're pushing ahead. Lian Li, this is an awesome case to build in. Plenty of airflow, plenty of options, really nice to work with. This is our power supply. We're going to go the Thor, the Rogue Thor, 1200 watt platinum. Really nice little PSU, 10-year warranty, and it offers sleeved cable, so it makes your build look real tidy. And for cooling, we're going to take the Corsair this time, the IQ H150i. We combo that with, we want 2 triple packs of fans, because we're going to run 3 intakes on the bottom. We're going to have the Corsair cooler on the top, rad exhausting, and we're going to have another additional 3 fans intaking down the side of the case here, and we're going to have this one singular light loop series fan as the exhaust, and that would provide you beast level performance. And now, as you can see, I've got no AMD products in here. Reason being is that just the value is there on the Intel side, and I don't recommend AMD cards to anyone. Now, video cards are always the way to go for driver support, consistency, 1% and 0.1% lows. They just offer the best gaming experience for the least amount of hassle. They're just the be-all end-all as far as graphics go. They can't be beat as far as reliability. You may get better performance on certain games in some arenas, but that can change so fast with an update. So I always recommend all my customers, all the guys that I work with and that I do builds for, I always recommend we go a NVIDIA GPU. And also they generally have better streaming support. If you're interested in doing a single PC stream, stick with NVIDIA. You'll just have a simpler time in life, and you'll probably find it's a lot smoother over the long haul. Anyway guys, that is the tier list for today. God build, high-end, mid-range, budget, ultra budget. If you guys want to get one of my systems, I build them, I tune them, I make sure they're good to go right before they even leave the house here. I make sure that Windows are set up, everything's up to date, your games are up to date, everything's tuned, and the PC is 100% click, pull out the box, play, you're into it. So you can find me on Facebook at PerfectPC NZ, and hit me up in the comments if you have any questions. Thank you.